Okay, I'm installing the paneling now. I've just finished the first side panel. Let me show you what I've done. So here you can see the side panel installed, and I've had to make cutouts in various areas. So you can see around this bar here, and then around the support bar for the dash and the mounting for the scuttle. I've just made slots in here. And then at the back here, I've made some gap around the back bar, and I've trimmed this a little bit. Now, it's not perfect yet. Perfection comes when all the panels are together. So what I need to do is do the other side panel and then try and fit the back. And once I've got that all aligned, I can do the fine tuning. But it's a great start, and yeah, the panel looks very stable, so that's great. Here we have the driver's side panel. I'm just going to take it around and show you where I've marked up a cutout. I'm just going to roughly cut that out, and similarly around here, this needs to be cut out, and I've already cut out the end here. So these are all rough cuts. They will be sanded down more finely, but it just shows part of the fitting process. It's just taking it off, finding out where it needs to be adjusted, cutting it, putting it back on, and doing that multiple times until the fit is good. I now have the driver's side panel on, and that completes the side panels. So the next step is to test fit the rear panel. So if we look at the rear here, we can see I've clearanced it around the bar here. The rear panel will go up there, and I'd like a nice clean transition between the two. It fastens on here and comes around. So the idea is that we'll test mount it, we'll drill holes in here, clearance around the bar, and see how it fits. I've got the rear panel on now. There's enough adjustment in there to line it up perfectly, which is great. So I need to put two holes in so they can get bolted together. You can see on the other side the same sort of deal that's cut out around the bar. There's enough space there to align it, and you just have to put in the two holes for the screws that go through. So what I'll do, I'll put holes into the back panel first, then transfer the holes into the side panel and drill that in. And that will complete the rear panel test fit. Okay, I've now got the back panel on, the rear panel. It's more or less aligned. There's still opportunity for fine tuning. I've also got the supports here that go into the sides, so these holes are drilled. Next time I take the rear panel off, I will drill some holes for the fenders. But for now, the rear panel is in. It's sitting nicely, it's sitting at the right height, so I'm really pleased with that. So, I think the next task is to look at the nose cone. This is the trial fit of the nose cone. There's a couple of issues. The main one being that because I have the large oil cooler, the oil lines come out quite far. So I've got to drop it by probably about half an inch to an inch. So I have to take the nose cone off, see if I can drop the oil cooler any further. There is a little bit of room, so I'll see what I can do. I've placed the radiator down as low as it possibly can, so you can see now that it is lower than the actual radiator, and at the top you see that the routing just goes slightly higher than the radiator, and I believe that will fit into the nose cone without any issues. So let's see how the nose cone looks. Okay, the nose cone is now fitted. You can see it goes around the suspension and the steering rod very well. It fits in here nicely. That will have to be bolted down. And if we go around here, we can see the plate actually supports it very well. And these top oil lines up here, there's a finger width between the top of the oil line and the nose. So it's done, which is great. So now I just need to put some fixings in, and then we can look at seeing where the hood fits. Okay, this is the hood. I had to take out a 25mm piece on the corner here. You can see that around there, because the scuttle will go in there, and similarly for the nose cone. So both ends needed a 25mm cutout taken out of the bottom. The hood is really tight. Comes as no surprise. The air filter there is being squashed a bit by the top, but it should be fine. There's plenty of room. And we'll also have the air going in through the top of the scoop. So this looks really awesome. The car's coming together very nicely. Okay, I've got the scuttle cutout done around here. So there's a bit of room so I can position the dash where I need to. And obviously I have to put the holes through the bottom of the scuttle here to place it precisely. So I need to put the hood on and then position the scuttle, and then I can drill the holes for the scuttle. Okay, this is a rough fit of the hood, the nose, the hood, and the scuttle. So that's more or less exactly where it needs to go. So next is to drill those holes through the bottom of the scuttle so I can bolt it down, and then we can see about putting the dash in. You can see there's the ECU panel in there. The dash goes either inside the scuttle or it can rest on the top. I haven't decided what I'd prefer. I've now got the scuttle mounted. The holes are in the side. The cutout is done. It fits pretty well. Needs a little bit of finessing. The dash is also in. It also needs a little bit of finessing. As you can see, there isn't enough room around that gauge, so this will have to be trimmed around there, which will have to be done very carefully. I do prefer having the dash behind the scuttle rather than sitting on top. If anything, there's no way that anything can get into the ECU panel. If there is any water, then it will go down the outside of the dash. So let's see what it looks like with the hood on. Here we are with the hood on. It fits perfect. The blue tape seems to exacerbate the gaps that I've got, but it fits very tightly. Once I've got the clamps down here, it'll be great. So really all that needs to be done is this edge on the scuttle needs to be sanded down. So that will be the next job. Okay, I've trimmed the scuttle. You can see this green line here is where the previous edge was and how it interfered with the speedo here. Or the tacho, I've now taken probably about 3/4 centimetre around, and I've sort of taken it around so that it fits nicely on top of the panel here. If you look across there, it's all fairly even. Obviously the yellow masking tape hides a lot of the features, but it's looking good. I'm quite happy with that. So that effectively completes the first dry fit of the panels. Next will probably be next episode is where I cut holes in for the roll cage and the exhaust. So this is the roll cage here. So this is the full FIA roll cage, and there's the hood of it on top of it, obviously. But behind here, I've also got a roll bar. So I'm going to fit the roll cage first, and then I'll probably make the rest of the car just using the roll bar. So I need to get the windscreen in. There's also an aero screen that I want to be able to replace so that I can choose between the full roll cage and with the roll bar. But that's it for now. So thanks for watching, and until next episode.